Hello, everybody. My name is Twila Walkeden. I'm the Executive Director of the Weyburn Chamber of Commerce, and this is our regular installment of Face to Face. So the Weyburn Chamber of Commerce is dedicated to our local businesses and our members. And what we're doing during the COVID challenges that we are facing here in Weyburn is to bring you some really great opinions and expertise from our local experts. So today we are lucky to have Stephen Schuck. He's an associate lawyer at NSWB law firm. I'm sure we've all seen Stephen around, and obviously we know of NSWB law firm and the great things that they do for both their clients and the community. So Steve, I'm just kind of curious to know, let's start out. I see the Purell bottle on your desk. What's happening down at NSWB during the COVID-19 epidemic? You guys have your business open? Are you still taking appointments? How are you operating?
Yes, we've got lots of Purell and we've got lots of sanitary wipes too. We're still taking clients. Our procedure is basically to set up a telephone appointment. I'll meet you at the door and guide you into our meeting room. Most of the time we'll have sent out the documents we're going to review with the client via email, so you can look at them beforehand. So we're not having, extended appointments. It's basically you review the documents, I'll explain any of the questions that you have, and we'll do the signing that we need to do, and then you can leave and I'll email you signed copies of those documents. So we still are operating. We have some of our staff is off right now just because of childcare and school being out, but we still have our doors open for appointments.
Great. Well, it sounds like you're taking a very responsible approach to flattening the curve. So we really appreciate everything that our businesses are doing in order to accommodate both their staff and the customers that they have and the important clients. So Steve, tell me, you've got a bit of a different perspective when it comes to serving, members of the general community and our business members, our chamber members. So in terms of, kind of your wheelhouse, you deal with more real estate closings and aspects like that. How are you seeing that COVID-19 is really impacting those types of transactions?
Well, what we're seeing is people in self-isolation not wanting to come out to sign documents. Well, obviously they can't come to our office to sign them if they've been out of the country in the last 14 days. So what we've seen is the provincial government putting in regulations to a number of different acts that allow those documents to be witnessed electronically. So they've made updated emergency amendments to the Land Titles Act, the Electronic Information and Documents Act, and the Powers of Attorney Act. And basically, to summarize, it just says that during a public emergency period, lawyers can witness documents without the person signing that document being in their physical presence. So we can witness documents electronically through a webcam or camera phone. And as long as we can hear and see the person simultaneously, I'm good to go for witnessing that document. And some lawyers have raised concerns that this increases the risk of fraud. However, to reduce that risk, we're still required to properly identify our clients. And by that, like during a meeting like this, if I was witnessing documents that you were signing, I'd have you hold your ID up to the webcam, like that, show the front and back. I'd take a screenshot of both sides and then take a screenshot of yourself on our Zoom meeting here in order to confirm that you are the person that you say you are. The client would sign up all the documents, scan them and email back them to me, and I would be able to, let's say, witness those documents. So the province has come up with a creative solution that kind of streamlines signing in the event that someone can't come out of their house because they're, self-isolating.
Well, that's really good to know, because obviously these transactions still need to take place even during an epidemic like what we're seeing. And I'm really encouraged that the government is allowing some really innovative procedures to take place to accommodate that. So that's great news. So how about estate planning? This is not the time in which we should take the ball off any kind of plans that we have, and in order to secure future transactions that take place within estate planning. How is that going?
It's still going well. I'm taking in some instructions over the telephone and then identifying the client at the time of signing. For estate planning, we have 3 separate documents. We have the power of attorney, a healthcare proxy, and a will. And of course, power of attorney is a very important document during the COVID-19 crisis. It's basically a document that allows you to appoint an attorney immediately or on a contingent basis, and that attorney can take care of your personal and property and financial affairs. You're going to see a lot of documents these days getting signed with power of attorney. Usually spouses will appoint one another and then have an alternate, usually their children. And if the state of emergency continues, longer, it's still going to be a valuable document for you. And if you're in self-isolation now, the amendments to the Powers of Attorney Act will allow me to witness that document electronically. So if you don't want to come to our office, we can still create a power of attorney for you without you leaving the comfort of your home.
Great, great. And that's just so important because everyone is safe, everyone's safety is top of mind. And, I think what we're hearing time after time, if you don't have to leave your house, don't leave your house. And the technology that's bringing you and I together during this Zoom call is certainly testament to that and to those transactions being made. So family law, that's also your specialty. How is COVID-19 impacting or maybe not impacting your ability to help those people that are going through these times?
Well, the court is actually at a reduced schedule right now. We have, they're only hearing urgent matters. So any of the matters that were on the family law court docket for April are being adjourned to June 17th. And basically the word urgent, it only means when we're talking about kids dealing with essential medical decisions or issues relating to the wrongful removal or retention of a child in a shared parenting arrangement or dire financial need. So, I mean, that's a pretty high threshold to have your matter heard before, these, summertime adjournment dates. So we're seeing a slowdown in what kind of litigation we can actually do at the Court of Queen's Bench. I mean, there's definitely been a slowdown in simple things like filings for simple divorces, adoption or estate matters. They're just not as urgent as some matters, and the court system has to triage their resources to be able to deal with these things in a timely basis. Another thing that's happening in family law right now is parents are kind of asking themselves these questions about is my partner that I'm sharing parenting with protecting our son or daughter from COVID-19? Are they taking appropriate steps to follow these requirements that are now put in place? And recently in Ontario, there was a decision where a mother who was wanting to practice self-isolation didn't want her child leaving her house for any reason, including visiting the father. So she brought an emergency application alleging that the father wasn't following the COVID-19 protocols. And in Ontario, the judge dismissed this particular application and then gave some clarification on what needs to be included by a person if you're wanting to actually bring an application like this, if you believe that if another parent isn't following the protocols that you feel are necessary. So those things are like the parent has to provide specific evidence or examples of behavior or plans by the other parent which are inconsistent with COVID-19 protocols. So you have to have concrete evidence, and it has to be listed out the reasons why this urgent motion is so necessary to be heard right now. And the parent responding has to provide specific and absolute reassurance that COVID safety measures are being meticulously adhered to. Those are things like following social distancing, using disinfectants, compliance with public safety directives, all of those important things. And the court basically reminded all of these parents with agreements with their spouse in place that they shouldn't be needlessly restricting access to the other parent. I mean, there has to be some semblance of normalcy in these really strange times that we're all trying to navigate together. And it's important that kids be able to see both parents during this time because they're confused too. So they want to be able to continue these parenting arrangements as normal if the COVID-19 protocols are being followed. So in summary, basically, if there's an existing court order in place, that order dictates the rights of access, and a parent should be continuing with their usual parenting schedule. And this is, of course, is based on the principle that it's in the child's right to see both parents, and that both parents should be taking steps to follow COVID-19 protocols. One last thing on this topic that will probably be of interest for our members is that, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been a decision related on holiday time. You know, a lot of parents with blended families, they have an agreement saying that they're going to share all the holiday time with one another. Well, now that the kids aren't in school, is this technically holiday time because there's no school, there's no weekly schedule that they have to follow? Should the parents be on a shared parenting time during this period just because school's out? And we're waiting to see if direction from the court comes out on this, and I'd be willing to update our members once I find out more about that.
Right. Oh, wow. That's just such valuable information, Steve. You know, I don't think that a lot of us realize that there's circumstances that are complicating, the COVID-19 issue even more than what we see. So we really appreciate that insight, and we do look forward to hearing more. Shifting gears a little bit to more of a personal note, how do you personally deal with some of the stresses with respect to COVID-19? You know, self-distancing, not being able to see your loved ones. Just kind of curious.
Well, my wife Armanda and I like going for walks, and we started Tiger King on Netflix, which has been hilarious. So we've been finding ways to pass the time.
That's super. That's good to know. And I have yet to start that series, but maybe this weekend because I've heard so much about it. It sounds like a pretty good distraction, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to wrap it up today, Stephen. I, again, thank you so much for your time. I do think that our chamber members are going to see a huge benefit from the advice that you've given. One of our local experts, Stephen Schuck from NSWB Law Firm, has been with us today. Again, we appreciate your time, and everyone stay tuned for the next face-to-face installment, and everyone have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.